Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is ZacBandicoot here, and me and my dad, Daddy Bandicoot, call him, or Dad Bandicoot. We watched Detective Pikachu last night. I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. I really wanted to. Probably would have been a cool experience. Had some good visual effects, but anyway, got around to watching it, and quick brief summary. I thought overall was fun. As a Pokemon fan, I was disappointed in a lot of things, so we're going to do a critique here. I'll be critiquing it as a Pokemon fan mostly, and for you?
Well, as just a fan of movies in general, and also as a writer storyteller. So, first of all, I cannot see anyone who isn't a Pokemon fan not liking this. And I, of course, I only know Pokemon through you and your brother when you were a kid, so I know some of the characters. But the way
you rather despised it when we were kids.
but the way you enjoyed it as a kid, I can't see any Pokemon fan not loving this. And I didn't really know how it did in theaters until I looked it up last night. And worldwide, it brought in $430 million. So that's a success by
certainly enough for them to make another movie, which they're probably going to do.
Absolutely. And as far as storytelling, it had the good basics of storytelling. I mean, first of all, the special effects were amazing. I mean, if you want to see these Pokemon come to life, I mean, this is seamless.
I thought that was well done. Like, if that was made back in like the 90s or early 2000s even, it would have been really...
Oh, I can't.
Animation that's so dated today.
I can't imagine. If they had to make this in the 90s or even the early 2000s, they might have had to go the Who Framed Roger Rabbit route, where they actually did a 2D animation.
Which would have been kind of interesting, but it was great to see them incorporated as if they could be in the real world. Now, they didn't look... What's the word I'm looking for? Now, they didn't look ultra-realistic. Realistic enough. Cool, like, effects, like a Pikachu with the fuzziness, all these Pokemon. It seems like they kind of balanced out the cartoonish look of them, like you still recognize the look of them from the games,
right?
With realistic,
yeah,
like
I agree. And as far as the storytelling elements, I mean, it focuses, of course, on a young man whose mom passed away. So we're gonna have some spoilers here.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I have to say that at the beginning. Major spoilers.
Right, and who is out of relationship with his dad, and his dad is supposedly killed. His dad's a cop, and then, of course, Detective Pikachu comes in to help him find out what's going on, and eventually he will reconnect, and the whole story arc of someone having no one, being out of relationship with their father, coming into relationship with their father is something you see in many stories, many books, and it just seems to work every time they try it. And of course, add to that not only all the great special effects, but the little bit of a twist in who you think the villain may be. Again, we've seen it many times in movies, but I think they make it work here. And listen, this is don't expect The Godfather, right? But this is a good time at the movies from someone like me who appreciates good sci-fi fantasy and has a little bit of knowledge of these characters through my sons being fans of the game and the card games and all the other things that came with it. I think it's a worthwhile time at the movies or on the way we saw it on Blu-ray.
Definitely. I mean, Nintendo themselves, they've been afraid to have any theatrical release movie, especially after some of the disasters back then. You know, certain movie involving brothers named Mario.
Yeah.
We don't speak of that. Just awful trash.
There have been some disasters of video games to
video game movies. Period.
Right. Absolutely. But if I think it would be fair to say that Detective Pikachu is one of the best video games made into films.
That is definitely fair to say. It was interesting. They actually had before the movie release, Detective Pikachu game on the 3DS, which had average at best reviews. Which I was very surprised. They're making this like Detective Pikachu thing. I'm like, wait, why are they doing this? Why are they making a movie out of this? And then I just thought, disaster. No. But then instantly won over. Saw that first trailer. Ryan Reynolds. I mean, voicing the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And he was good. I mean, his character and his character even as the dad, this wasn't Deadpool inside Pikachu. This was definitely a different character.
This is classic Ryan Reynolds in general.
But it wasn't Deadpool with all the wisecracking and those things. It was,
and it's a PG movie, so none of that crazy cursing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see this as a Netflix series or an Amazon Prime series where they launch this with new adventures of Detective Pikachu.
Well,
I think they could make that work.
Well, they can't be Detective Pikachu. We'll get into that, but I'm saying this introduces the universe, though. They'll probably make a series actually based on a character that is a Pokemon trainer. Maybe based on the anime, have Ash, Brock, Misty, maybe. Or it's just based on the video games themselves.
Well, what couldn't it be Detective Pikachu solving crimes? And because they've established in this movie a Pokemon human world.
No, but remember how it ended. I'm saying this established Pokemon world into live action. That way they can have like the same creators, same style, like anime the Pokemon. But I mean actually about the trainers. Like you remember there's that anime show?
Yeah.
Which you must briefly remember.
Oh, yeah, I do.
So that's what I mean. I remember how the movie ended. I can't have Detective Pikachu now.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, because so the story, like it started out with captured Mewtwo. And him breaking out of like this facility. Of course, you're still wondering what's going on at that point, which I was surprised that they were bringing Mewtwo into this. That was a huge surprise for me. And
don't forget, we writers can do anything we want, no matter how a movie ends. So even though you might say the ending of the film would prohibit a Detective Pikachu series, writers can do a lot of tricks to make whatever they want to have happen.
True, and then it starts out like you said with the main character. He was trying to catch a friend of his was trying to have him catch a Cubone. He was like, "He's the perfect one for you,"
right?
Because Cubone with his mother that got killed, he wears the skull of his dead mother.
Now let me ask you something. And the way the movie started out. With them creating this Mewtwo, is that in line?
They didn't create it. They captured him.
Okay. So it wasn't a created Pokemon.
No, he is created. Someone else did that because they just captured him.
Oh,
so they're hinting that.
Okay.
In the anime, and I think like in the games too, he was created by a scientist who was in Japan. And they found a fossilized like eyelash or something from the legendary Mew. Mew is that smaller cat-looking one.
Right, I get it.
And then they cloned that most powerful Pokemon and tried to make him.
So this corporation, of course, this movie has the really cliched evil corporation. I mean, what's a sci-fi adventure without the evil corporation?
Exactly.
And so I misunderstood that. I thought they were the ones responsible for creating the Mewtwo, but no.
No, I remember they said they captured him in the first place.
They captured him, okay.
So they're not the ones who created him, which I'm saying this is why this is going to give birth to a cinematic universe for Pokemon or TV series.
Yeah, and I would say, just getting back to the effects, I think they were flawless. And so they invested the money. This thing cost about $150 million to make. So this was a huge gamble on the studio's part.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but you see, at $430 million, they more than made their money back. So it would seem to me that we're going to see more in cinema with this Pokemon stuff.
Which is what I'm saying. I wish this movie had more nods to like the games and stuff. Maybe even having like Nurse Joy in one of the hospitals, or having like that cop, officer, I forget her name. I'm blanking on that. But anyway, and for example, in the movie they had this like gas stuff that made the Pokemon go crazy and everything, and make them ultra aggressive. And there's this R symbol on it that looked just like the Team Rocket symbol, and I thought, oh, Team Rocket, they're responsible. No, it was just the name of the substance, so there's a disappointment there. Like, I would have liked some kind of nod, maybe a Team Rocket somewhere. Like, maybe like the main bad guy could have worked for Team Rocket or something.
Right.
Like,
some
kind of nod.
Obviously, I'm not going to notice these things, so I'm going to appreciate the film just from a just from a film fan point of view and a sci-fi fantasy fan point of view, I'm not going to notice all those little things. That doesn't really make you, if I understand correctly, it doesn't make you dislike the film.
No.
But they're just these little moments that could have been better as a fan. However, I think, just speaking to the point you made before about the way the plot of this film ended up, that they're actually done with Detective Pikachu, it probably does open up to a whole new universe of Pokemon films.
Yeah, it just introduces Pokemon to live action in the first place. Like, some people will actually complain and say, like, whoa, why didn't they make this movie based on the anime or the adventures? And it's like, why? We know the characters. We know that story already. And besides, how do you put that into about an hour and a half or maybe almost 2-hour movie? And I mean, this was a bold move just to introduce, and it is the same universe. Like, the main character wanted to be a Pokemon trainer himself.
Yeah.
And there are Pokemon trainers that make Pokemon battle. Except this takes place in this, like, utopia, basically, the main bad guy.
Right. I think they called the city
Yeah,
Rhine.
it's a spoiler alert, but we're just going to say he's the main bad guy right
Yeah.
away.
And it
Created
seemed to
this,
be
like, utopia, this big city where people and Pokemon coexist, and there's no Pokemon battling there.
Right, and it seemed to be a combination of New York, London, and Tokyo. And by the way, they did have underground.
They had the underground stuff.
Underground
That was some
fights.
cool scenes.
And that I found well done as far as part of a plot
That was
point
probably
in
the
movie.
biggest treat for Pokemon fans.
But
during
I
that
remember
part.
when you were kids, you and your brother were kids watching this, and the battles were the whole thing. I mean, that was the reason you had these things.
And the games, I know, like, that was the biggest treat for Pokemon fans. Like, they showed, like, Blastoise fighting a Gengar, which Gengar looked absolutely frightening in live action and CGI, by the way.
Yeah.
And then that scene, like, I guess Detective Pikachu and the guy were trying to find someone. He had to get information out of him. But then the Detective Pikachu was thrown in there with a Charizard to fight.
Yeah, and the mime guy was a great scene.
Yes, and they had to get information from Mr. Mime. He's doing all sorts of mime stuff. You heard the noises.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
and what else
Pikachu-
was funny? What is the Pokemon that changes into different
Ditto.
Dittos?
Ditto.
That was also pretty funny.
Oh, they had Ditto, like, transforming into people and everything.
Yeah. So overall, we give it a couple of thumbs up. I think. I don't think you have to be a Pokemon fan to enjoy this. You'd have to like, I think, a little sci-fi fantasy.
I mean, a few plot holes, few silly decisions.
Yeah,
made
but
by
there's
people,
no
few cheesy
there's no
lines.
perfect movie. I mean, my attitude with films is I'm pretty much going to relax and let it have its way with me. It'll have to be really bad for me not to enjoy the effort that filmmakers make, especially if the plot, even if it's cliche, is good storytelling, and if it has a satisfactory ending. Because let's face it, the reason we go to films is we want an experience, and for the most part, people do want a satisfying ending that ties things up and gives a little hope for the
But you did a good
imaginary
job. Now, this is a
characters.
spoiler discussion. Like you mentioned in the beginning, we know that his mother died, then you get a notice that his dad died, so that's why he went to that city. That's when he first sees, like you see in the trailer, he sees Detective Pikachu. Then he's all freaked out, he's talking, but no one else can hear him talking. He just says Pika Pika to everyone.
Right. That was a
And then,
nice bit.
and then of course he meets that girl, which, he partners up with, and then it becomes like his love interest later.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
cliched there. But
Yeah. And then they
whatever.
had the whole thing where she's an
Yeah.
aspiring
And
reporter.
she had the Psyduck though.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
was fun
That's
seeing
right.
Psyduck.
That was fun. That's right. She had the Psyduck.
Him going I'm having the headaches like he does in the cartoon. And it was really cool seeing all the Pokemon around. Like you had a Machamp waving traffic in. You saw Snorlax sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
And also Pokemon, like a lot of the new guys. Oh, you had the Greninjas. That was cool. Like there's even one scene where that facility had a bunch of Greninjas ready to fight, throwing like their water shurikens. And then of course when Mewtwo swoops in and kicks all their butts, just boom.
Yeah. So
And at first, and then you were thinking Mewtwo was a bad guy at one point. And
yeah. That's another. See, it had a lot. Again, that's another one of these almost
Yeah.
cliched story arcs, just like with the young lady who was an aspiring reporter, and at the end, she, again, spoiler alert, she gets a job with this corporation. But again, even cliched elements work if they're done well in a harmless
and the twist.
story.
The twist is like Mewtwo shows like that Detective Pikachu helped him escape, but then it turns out because the main bad guy, he had like this plan to take control of Mewtwo, which he does, and then after that little gas serum that makes the Pokemon go crazy, he's able to. This is where it got a little convoluted and weird. I can admit, is where Mewtwo had the power then to put a person's soul basically inside the Pokemon, which he wanted to do that to everyone in the city for, I guess, reasons. He really, really liked Pokemon, wanted everyone to be Pokemon, I guess.
Right. Now, that transference of people into Pokemon was something unique to this film. There was nothing. I believe so, there was nothing like that.
I mean, there's been like psychic links with people with Pokemon, but not like.
But there's been nothing like that in the Pokemon universe. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
and anyway, then of course he beats the bad guy with. So the bad guy's there in the chair controlling Mewtwo, him vulnerable right in the chair, just like this, and he still leaves the main hero, the guy, there. Like he could have pushed him out of the building as Mewtwo. And then the guy just tears it off his skull.
That's true, but didn't he leave? Don't you think he had confidence that Ditto would have taken care of him? You see, like
Ditto was there.
Yeah, so I think that was okay because I think he had the confidence that Ditto was watching after him.
Yeah, because Ditto was disguised as that guy's son.
Yeah,
because in the beginning it was like a father-son duo thing when they were on TV, and you thought like the son was evil, but it turns out the son was innocent.
Yeah.
And Ditto like disguise themselves, and then you see like one of the people that takes off the glasses, got those beady Ditto eyes on the person.
Yeah, that was
which
good.
was downright frightening.
Yeah, that was a frightening.
It was cool though. He transformed like different Pokemon, punched him as Machamp, which I made the point when he punched him as Machamp, that should have like obliterated his body because Machamp is like insanely strong in the game.
That's movie making for you. You gotta let some things go.
Yeah, and then of course he takes the thing off. Mewtwo regains control. And then you find out that Mewtwo put the main character's dad in that Pikachu's body. And for some reason, the Pikachu had amnesia, didn't remember that he was his dad.
So, bottom line, if you grew up loving these things, go see it.
Yeah,
if you're a dad who had sons who grew up loving this, go see it. Preferably with your son.
Sorry, you jumped ahead there a little bit. We got more to discuss. And then it turns out the main character's dad was inside Pikachu, and then you see the dad. He's outside his body at the end. Mewtwo does that, and of course it's Ryan Reynolds playing the dad.
Yeah, that was a nice.
When he was
that was a treat for fans of Ryan Reynolds and the whole genre. Yep.
Yep, and so overall, I give it a thumbs up or so. I mean. At least opens the door to live action Pokemon. I look forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future with this. Maybe like a series on Netflix or something about like actual Pokemon trainers. I thought this was a bold move to do a Detective Pikachu movie about a detective talking Pikachu. And overall it paid off. It's fun to watch. Like you said, especially if you're a Pokemon fan. Now, definitely not pass this up.
Yeah.
And
or the father of Pokemon.
And what were you saying with your final verdict?
I was just saying, even if you're a father of a Pokemon fan, that your kids grew up watching this stuff and you appreciate a good piece of storytelling and some good special effects, you'll enjoy the film. All right.
So, like we said, if you like Pokemon, chances are you'll enjoy this. I mean, movie. Little flawed at times, but anyway, still much better, definitely than I expected. So definitely would check this out. So this has been our review of Detective Pikachu, and everyone, this has been my dad, and this has been ZacBandicoot. Whoa!
Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to ZacBandicoot, and maybe jump on over to Edward Bungert on YouTube. You'll see some ventriloquism and some other foolish things. Bye bye for now.